In a devastating turn of events, Los Angeles County is battling some of the most catastrophic wildfires in its history. Over 1,300 residents have been forced to flee their homes, with more than 1,000 structures, including homes, businesses, schools, and places of worship, reduced to ash. The wildfires, driven by ferocious winds and fueled by months of dry weather, have created a crisis of unimaginable proportions. The fires have engulfed over 56 square kilometers, stretching from the Pacific coast to Pasadena. Images from the affected areas paint a grim picture. Entire neighborhoods reduced to rubble, streets blanketed in ash, and thick smoke choking the skies. Once Ponic properties in Pacific Palisades, known for their luxury and grandeur, now lie in ruins. Schools and community centers, often the heart of neighborhoods, have been lost, leaving residents with an overwhelming sense of loss. For many, the wildfires have destroyed not just property, but a lifetime of memories. Families have fled with little more than the clothes on their backs, leaving behind belongings, vehicles, and even pets. Local residents describe the scenes as apocalyptic, with massive flames, sudden explosions, and ash raining down like snow. Firefighting teams are waging an all-out war against the wildfires, but nature is proving to be an unforgiving adversary. Several factors are making the battle extraordinarily difficult. Santa Ana winds gusting at speeds of up to 100 miles per hour. These powerful winds are fanning the flames and carrying embers over great distances. Entire new fires are being ignited miles away from the original blaze. Overwhelming firefighting efforts, water shortages. Many fire hydrants in key areas have run dry, leaving crews with limited resources to combat the flames. The lack of water pressure has become a significant obstacle in slowing the fire's advance. Challenging terrain. The mountainous and uneven landscape of Los Angeles County is making it difficult for firefighting teams to access some of the hardest-hit areas. Rescue operations are slow, and containment efforts are limited by the rugged terrain. Despite these challenges, thousands of firefighters are working tirelessly, often for days without rest, to protect lives and property. Aircraft, though crucial in fire suppression, have been largely grounded due to the intense winds. While the exact causes of the wildfires remain undetermined, experts point to a combination of factors that have created the perfect conditions for disaster. Prolonged dry weather. Southern California has not seen rain since October, leaving vegetation dry and highly flammable. This prolonged drought has turned the region into a tinderbox. Climate change, rising global temperatures, and prolonged droughts are increasing the frequency and intensity of wildfires in California. An excellent breakthrough intensity will help relieve current droughts of excess overgrazing of wildlife without making pathogens spread. Experts warn that these conditions will only worsen if immediate action is not taken to address climate change. Wind-carried embers, tiny embers carried by the fierce Santa Ana winds, are spreading the fires at an alarming rate. These embers can ignite new fires miles away from the original blaze, making containment efforts nearly impossible. The emotional and psychological toll of the wildfires cannot be overstated. For many residents, the loss is personal and deeply painful. Families forced to flee, sudden evacuation orders have left families with mere minutes to pack their belongings and escape. Many have left behind cherished keepsakes, family photographs, and heirlooms. Defending homes against all odds, some residents unwilling to abandon their properties have chosen to stay and fight the fires themselves. Armed with garden hoses and buckets of water, they are putting their lives on the line to save what they can. Communities in crisis. Entire neighborhoods have been displaced, leaving families unsure of where to go or how to start over. Temporary shelters are filled with people who have lost everything. from their homes to their livelihoods. "I've lived here for 30 years and now it's all gone," one resident tearfully shared. "Everything we built, everything we worked for, it's just ash now." In response to the crisis, President Donald Trump has declared the wildfires a federal disaster, unlocking resources to support firefighting efforts and assist displaced residents. Federal aid includes additional equipment, personnel, and funding to help contain the fires and rebuild affected communities. Local authorities are urging residents to follow evacuation orders and stay updated through official channels. Fire safety experts are also emphasizing the importance of using home fire suppression systems and maintaining defensible space around properties to reduce fire risk. However, critics argue that these measures are reactive rather than preventative. As wildfires become an annual threat in California, there is growing pressure on the government to invest in long-term solutions such as forest management, infrastructure upgrades, and policies to combat climate change. Despite the overwhelming destruction, there are glimmers of hope and humanity. Community members are coming together to support one another, donating food, clothing, and funds to help those in need. Firefighters, paramedics, and volunteers are working around the clock, often risking their own lives to save others. Relief organizations have mobilized quickly, setting up shelters and providing essential services to displaced families. Local businesses and nonprofits are also stepping in, offering free meals, temporary housing, and supplies. One evacuee shared a message of resilience. "We've lost everything, but we still have each other. We'll rebuild. We'll get." As the fires continue to burn, the focus remains on containing the flames and preventing further loss of life. But the road to recovery will be long and arduous. The rebuilding process will require significant resources, cooperation, and support from both the government and the community. Even if you're not directly affected, you can make a difference. Donate. Support verified disaster relief funds to help families rebuild their lives. Spread awareness. Share information about the crisis to keep it in the public eye and encourage action. Prepare for emergencies. Wildfires are becoming more frequent and intense. Ensure your family has an emergency plan and supplies in case of a disaster. The Los Angeles wildfire are a stark reminder of the destructive power of nature and the urgent need to address climate change and wildfire prevention. While the immediate priority is to protect lives and property, the long-term focus must be on building resilience and preparedness for the future. For now, the people of Los Angeles must stand strong, united in their efforts to rebuild and recover. As one resident put it, "We'll rise from the ashes stronger than ever,